MicroBuilder.
Thank you so much for that wonderful intro. Love it. Hi, all. As she mentioned, I am Kingsley, and I've been in the e-learning industry, creating e-learning solutions for about 15 years now. For everything from software to LMSs to I had a course development company for a while. And I'm also the co-founder of reviewmyelearning.com. And I've been working with ELB pretty much since the beginning, pretty much for the whole 15 years. And then creating some awesome solutions for them over the years. And so what we're going to talk about today is our latest solution, our latest offering, which is, let's see, how do I get this to advance? MicroBuilder, which is a part of the ELB Studio. I know I just said eLearn Brothers a lot, and it's ELB now, sorry. So, and so, yeah, that's what we're here to talk about now is MicroBuilder for the ELB Studio. I keep clicking on the actual PowerPoint instead of the, also my chair has a leak in it. And so I've been complaining about this for a month now. My chair has a leak in it. So if you see me slowly start dropping down below screen, just say something and I'll remember to raise it back up again. All right. So the problem that we saw as we looked through the industry and talked to customers and course developers, we realized these kind of core problems that we thought we could create a solution for. One is complexity overkill. Most of the tools out there that are used to create e-learning modules are very complex. I tried one recently and it took me like 5 minutes just to find the menu item to publish to score. It's great because they have a lot of features packed in there, but there's a steep learning curve. So if you're trying to get something out quickly, or you want your subject matter expert to be able to knock out a course real quick, it's a lot for those tools. Also language barriers. We have customers from all over the world. We have customers from, maybe one country, but they're sending their training all over the world. And one of the most expensive and resource intensive things is just creating all those translations for a course. And then not only that, but now you've got 10 different versions of your course in 10 different languages. So what do you do with all those? So we wanted to find a solution for that. Also, shorter attention spans. This is one of the reasons why we were looking intently at micro-learning instead of full-blown, course development, is because studies have shown that over the years, our attention span is really dropping down. Back in 2004, it was 2.5 minutes that someone would look at a screen. And then now it's 47 seconds. And this quote is probably 6 months old. So we're probably down to 30 seconds now that somebody's willing to look at a screen. So you need to get to your learner, get them the content and let them move on. If they want to learn more, they go to the next micro-learning module. If not, they can move on. Time is money as well. So all that time in developing the course, all that time and your learners sitting there taking the course, all that is costing money and resources. And speaking of that, Ray Jimenez recently said, well, not recently, sorry, he recently passed, said that learning developers can reduce the cost by 50% and increase the speed of development by 300%. By creating micro-learning modules instead of those longer traditional courses. Oh, I had poll questions in here. I don't know if we can do polls. I forgot to tell anybody I was going to do. I tell you what, how about in the chat, you can just put in there if you're currently using micro-learning as part of your training strategy. So micro-learning, I won't spend a lot of time on the definition of it, but basically we're just trying to get nuggets of content to the learner without a lot of extraneous stuff. And this is great for areas like skill reinforcement, compliance training, onboarding, software updates. Software updates is really awesome because you can say, hey, the button used to be here, we moved it there. I don't need a whole hour-long module on that. a quick update on stuff like that. Performance support, you know, if you need to let the call center know, we've changed the policy on returns. Again, microlearning is the way to go for that kind of thing. And then, yeah, I knew it. There's another chat question too. Sorry, I didn't give anybody a heads up on these questions. So again, you can just put in the chat there, you know, like, what other topics are good for candidates for microlearning? If you've been using microlearning, or you've been enjoying microlearning, I should say, maybe you have some subject topics that you've already been working with in those. So that'd be another good one for the chat too. I guess pull up the chat, then I could see. Oh yeah, yeah. Why cats are the best. I don't
That's
know
what you get for not giving me these questions ahead of time, Kingsley.
Oh man, I love working at ELB. The best people. The best people. What isn't a good topic for microlearning? Oh, that's a good question. I'd like to hear some folks' answers there. I would say that if you're doing, well, even then, I was going to say complex, like software, you know, here's how you create the customer in the database kind of thing. You're going to need a lot of screenshots for that, and possibly a practice period for them. Generally, microlearning doesn't have a try me section to it. So you're not sending your chats to everyone. No, that's not for me. Okay. All right, moving on. Back to me. So our solution, as previously mentioned, is MicroBuilder by ELB Learning. And so, man, did I write the sentence, the ultimate rapid authoring tool? I hope I did, because it is the ultimate rapid authoring tool. And so it makes really creating the content easy breezy, lemon squeezy. It's very user friendly to not only author your content in, but also for your learners to absorb your content with. It's multimedia rich. You can incorporate images, videos. We have a connection with our product, the training arcade. That's another awesome ELB product, and a connection with the ELB scenario VR product. And so you can suck those right into your microlearning module. We have access to the asset library too, so that comes included with ELB, hundreds of millions of stock photos. And then we're doing translation for you on the fly. You click a button and boom, it's translated into, I forget how many, maybe it's on one of these other slides, but it's like 47 languages or something that we can just auto-magically translate into. And we're providing you with a SCORM package that we're calling hosted SCORM. And I'll get into that a little bit more later, but essentially we give you a shell of a SCORM package. And the nice thing about it is you never need it again. Once you've uploaded that to your learning management system, if you go and make updates to your training and hit publish, it will just automatically update in that learning management system, which is also very nice if you've got it in 10 different learning management systems, because it will update automatically in all those. And also, like if you hear from someone, oh, you missed a period or you misspelled a word, then you can just make that change without having to go download a SCORM and upload a SCORM package and all that stuff. Okay, so now we're going to get into our demo. I like to use these AI generated graphics in my presentation because they're always just a little weird. So on this one, you notice one, he's got like an extra finger or something that's kind of coming around down here. And also this laptop is just floating in the air on top of the podium. So yeah, thought it was kind of funny. So I used that. So let me jump into the actual tool. Start showing you around in there. Not that one. Here we go. Let's start here. Let's start there. Let me find my other window with my cheat sheet so that I know what I'm doing. All right. So if you are not already a Studio subscriber, this is the ELB Studio. And when you log in here, you'll have access to all the tools that you've subscribed to in here. So Lectora, the Asset Library, Training Arcade, Arcades, all those. So, Rehearsal is such a cool tool. I don't have time to talk about that one, but it's so cool. So, MicroBuilder, let's go ahead and launch that thing. So when it launches, I see tiles of all the modules that I've created in the past or that I'm working on right now. With a quick look, I can see like, oh, this one was last published in July. I can see this one at the bottom here, a couple of these. They were published, like this one was published on the 25th. I made changes on the 29th, but I haven't published those changes yet. I've made some changes, waiting to change those. And let's jump in here and we'll take a look at one of these. And so this is just an example one that I kind of threw together for our demo. That's why it has the word demo in the title there. And overview of the history of ambulances. And so just to familiarize yourself a little bit with the interface here, off to the side, we have a properties panel, and that'll change a bit depending on what I have selected. So if I select, oh, I don't have anything on here to select right now. But that'll change a little bit depending on what I have selected. I'll show you that in a minute. We can change the theme of our module. We have all these pre-built themes, and coming soon, very soon, because I know everybody's going to ask this question, very soon, you can create your own thing, custom branding, so you can add your own colors, your logo, and everything. Very soon, that will be featured in here. We see our translation on the side. We'll talk about in a moment. And if I just really love this layout, like maybe I have, you know, a section, an image, a question, a section, image, question. I love the layout. I can check this button or check this box and say, I want that to be the default layout. That way, when you launch a new one, and I'll show you now, when I launch to create a new module, we start you out with a little page title and description area and stuff. So this is kind of the default to start with, but you might want to build out your own default template in there as well. All right, so this is the authoring environment, and you might be wondering, what's this going to look like for the learner? So to start with, I can close this panel. If it's in my way, I can close that, and I can see this here. So if I want to preview this to see what it's going to look like for a learner, I can click this. I'll look at the unpublished changes. And lo and behold, it looks almost exactly like what it did in my authoring environment. And that's nice because it's going to save you wondering, you know, oh, what's this going to look like for the learner? How's, you know, are they going to see it the same as me? It's almost exactly the same. We worked hard to make sure of that. So let's go in and add a couple of things to this, make a few changes to this one, just so you can kind of get a feel for how the interface works in here. So first thing I might want to add is a question down at the bottom of this. So at the end, we might want to add a couple of questions. So there's a little tile set down here. It says add a new block. I'm going to add a new question block. And it pops up and it's enter your question here. I'm going to save you the pain of watching me struggle to type live and do some copying and pasting here, although it kept my formatting there. Oh, there we go. And so, what did I do? What did I do? Let me try my copying and pasting again. Oh, you get, so you can copy and paste it in there. I guess I should type it. What is it? There we go. All right. And then the same with the questions. I can say yes, no, or the responses, yes, no, etc. If I decide, you know what, I really only have two options here. It's not exactly a multiple choice. It's more like a multiple select. So, because the only option is yes, I can delete the ones I don't want, add more. And we'll notice that when I have this selected and I have my properties pane open, I have some new properties here for just that particular block. I can change the type of question over here as well. We have short answer, fill in the blank. And I can decide if I want to include it in a quiz, if I want this to be a scored question or not. If I select that, then we automatically get a results block here, and I can edit that as well. And you can set your passing score and set the number of attempts for that the learner can add. I see a question about adding quiz images to quiz questions. Not yet, can't add directly to the question, but what we could do is just add a little block above it right here. And I can say insert an image. In this case, I'm gonna grab it. So I have the option. I can upload one from my files. I can take a photo with my camera on your computer or your laptop or your cell phone. Or I can launch the asset library. And let's see, we'll look for air services helicopter. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's use this one. You see when I selected, put a little check mark on there to let me know it was added. I can close this window. There it is. You can add your caption. Hilo. And so then what I could do is I could say in. How did I do that? In the image above, is there any people? Now it's a Turing test, a CAPTCHA. So you could do it that way. You could do it that way. I can also select the image and resize it in here as well. I don't need it to be quite as large. So we have a few things. Let me show you. We can add a new header in here. And again, I'm going to cheat and just go grab a header from somewhere else. Actually, I should show you what I'm grabbing it from so you can see how this works. So history and evolution. And I'll add a paragraph. Let me just pull this window down so you can see. What I'm going to do now is just grab this text. The cool thing is, you see it's already formatted here. So I'm going to Control C that, get rid of it. And then in here, and it keeps my formatting for me in there. Oops, missed one bullet there. Keeps my formatting for me in there, which is really nice because if you have source documents already and Google Docs or Word docs, or I mean, it'll even if I come over to Wikipedia and grab some content from here, come back, we'll add another paragraph underneath there. You'll see it keeps the formatting from Wikipedia when I pulled it over here. Even has the links that Wikipedia had too. So that's nice. It saves you a little trouble in reformatting everything. If you want to format, we do have this formatting bar across the top where you can select the type of type. Oops, picked off. We can insert quotes, bullets, you know, all the usual text formatting, colors, etc. in there as well. If I copied and pasted and I didn't like the formatting that came in, I can just click that button and it'll remove all the formatting for me in there. Okay. Now, we did mention the translations before. So we have all this cool content built out here. We have an image in there. So let me just illustrate real quick the translation process. So there is a button here, translate this page. I'm going to select, I'll just, for ease of use, I'll select a couple of these right here at the top. Now, I haven't gotten to video yet, but I do want to point out, you'll notice that some of these support voiceover translation as well. Not all of them, but there are a lot that support the voiceover translation as well. And I'll show you that in a few moments. So we're going to hit OK on that. And we can see now under my translation panel, there's a list of languages and it's waiting on me to publish. So I could hit publish, but just to demo it right here, I'm just going to hit translate now. And we'll see that, boom, there it went. It was that fast. And so click out there. So we see now there's a little globe up the top here where I have all these languages in here. And I can just select one. Let's see what Albanian. What was that? Albanian looks like here. So there's some Albanian for you. Oops. I tried to edit something while I was in the preview mode here. Arabic there. And you see it was pretty darn fast the way it did that. So there's our translations. There we include 1 million characters in the translation. So that's quite a lot. So when you sign up, you get 1 million characters translated for free. That's oh gosh, there's some book that I was using as an example for that. The Great Gatsby. I think it's The Great Gatsby. You could translate The Great Gatsby with 1 million characters in there. So then with our publish, so I'm gonna go ahead and let me add a thumbnail here. Thumbnail's kind of nice because it shows up on your home screen or on your tiles. Helps you identify it there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish on this. Now, it's going to pop up this little reminder just to say, hey, you know, we're going to publish this to SCORM for you, but keep in mind, or XAPI, we also support XAPI. And so, and you can download the SCORM package, but once you've done it once, you don't ever need to download that SCORM package again, unless you just want to. Maybe you like having them run. You can check the box to not show this anymore. Unfortunately, I can't, because I need to show it in demos. And so if I check the box, I wouldn't be able to see it again. So I'm going to say, got it. And it's going to publish that for me. Successful publish. Great. And I have the option to download SCORM 2004 or XAPI. SCORM 1.2 coming soon. I was reluctant to include SCORM 1.2 because I couldn't believe anybody was still using it, but it turns out a lot of people are still using 1.2. So we have that in the works. That 1.2 will be available very soon. So I kind of sped through a lot of that. Let's see, do I have in my presentation, is it time for another poll question? It is. So how do I get that back? Aha. So now we're about to start talking about AI generating content for us, helping us generate content. It's going to generate some content. As usual with AI, you should read it over, make sure it's right before you hit publish on it. And so I had a poll question there. Just wondering how many of you are already using AI to help you generate course content.
Kingsley, while people
Yes.
respond to that in the chat, I wonder if you could answer a question. For the translations, is there a confidence or quality score that's shown after you translate to another language?
No, but I love the idea. Like we're 98% sure that this is Albanian. Yeah. No,
Or that
no.
this is correct Albanian.
Yeah. Right. No, there's not. I mean, so we've had people look at the output and they've said it's good, but it wasn't like any official certification, you know. We are using AI in the background for that translation. And so AI could make a mistake. But generally what we found is that, you know, 99.9% of the time it's working great. And the return on investment of that, because it's free versus spending 6 months finding an Albanian person to translate for you, you know. So no, not yet. Another question, just to beat you to the punch here. Another question that I get a lot is about editing the translated version. And that we do have that in the works now as well. And that's we have to work through, if you change the, let's say, English section, should we retranslate the whole thing for you or not? You know, so we're just kind of working through that, but we will have an option soon for you to be able to edit the translated versions as well. Hey, I see somebody using ChatGPT. Nice. Scenario creation. We'll take a look at that in a second too. I keep putting everything up. I keep saying, well, look at that in a minute. Hold me on it. Don't let me get away out of here without showing you. So module creation, we're gonna take a look at these in a minute. We're gonna take a look at these, but just a quick overview here. So we have module creation. So there are several ways to create your module. Oh, I need to edit this thing because this is no longer a work in progress. This is done. So you need a way to, we help you create the content, like a whole module if you like. But also, even if you created your own module, or maybe you started with the AI creator, you can also manipulate, change current text that's in your module, and you can use it to create new analogies, scenarios, step-by-step instructions, and we can use it to create questions or a whole question set in there. So I will jump over and we'll take a look at that. All right, so probably saw it flash up on the screen for just a moment there, but when you first start creating a new module in here, we ask you right away, hey, you want to try out some AI on this thing? And so we can do that. Let's give it a shot. So you can start with something as simple as just kind of a basic prompt here. So I need an overview and history of air ambulances. And you can help define things. This is a very simple one. You could get much more complex. You can actually put 10,000 characters in this box here. I don't think you're going to have a 10,000 character long prompt, but we wanted you to be able to if you wanted to. So let's just start with overview and history of air ambulances, and this is for new pilots. So I'm going to hit create outline. We do give you the obligatory warning, hey, you're about to use AI. We've all seen Terminator. We know what's going to happen at the end of this. You can check the box and then we won't bother you again. So I'm going to continue on there. It does take 30 seconds, 2 minutes to create. So while it's doing that, we show you a little bit of trivia questions in here. Starts with some kind of generic microlearning trivia questions, but then it'll start picking up trivia questions about your actual content. Like, when was the first recorded use of an aircraft for medical evacuation? I'm going to say 1927. Oh, wow. I went 10 years off. That's not too bad. So while it's doing this, it just shows you some trivia there, kind of keep you entertained. Boom, but it wasn't that long. Here's all our content coming in. So it just generated for us all this great content about the overview and history of air ambulances. We got an introduction, early history, development during World War II, post-war. So we have all this awesome content in here for us. So let's go back and we will, just for fun, let's do one with a slightly longer prompt. I'm going to just grab this same bit of content here from Wikipedia here. And I'm not going to give it any more instructions. Just hit that. Yes, I agree. I'd love to check that box. I need to create 2 accounts so that I don't see that box all the time. And so then, as I said, once you have that content in there, then you'll have the ability to, of course, edit it and update it. If we come back over to that one while we're waiting on the current one, if we come back over here, we can see now that when I have this block of text selected, I have a little drop-down menu here. Like I said, this is for all your content, not just if you created the content with AI, but any content that you've already typed in there, you'll have these options there. So I can ask it to elaborate on this. So maybe I'm like, oh, wow, this is really great stuff here. Let's learn some more about that. I'll take it a second or two. Oh, I forgot. Let's jump back over. Am I jumping too much? Maybe I should slow down. Ah, here we go. So this was from the Wikipedia article. So we can see here now it's created some more detail. It's more focused on that content that was in there in the Wikipedia article. I remember it mentioned medevac and casevac in there. So I don't know if I'm saying that right. Casevac? And so this is more focused because I put more content into the prompt in there. So the more detailed you make your prompt, the more focused the module is going to be when it comes out. All right, I'm gonna stop jumping back and forth here and just focus on these. So this was that short paragraph that I asked it to elaborate on. So as you recall, it was, I think, 2 paragraphs, and now we got like 6 paragraphs on that. So it really did, elaborate on that. We could also, if we think that block of content is so important, let's just go ahead and create a question based on that content. So now that's going to use just the content in that particular text block to come up with a question for us in there. So it created the question, which of the following roles, medical staff, and it selected the correct answers for us in there too. So I want to double check it, but that's nice that it did all that for us already. And we can see that if I choose another one, we also have options in here to create analogies and scenarios and step-by-step processes from these. So like if I do the training and roles of air ambulance personnel, this paragraph below that here, and I say, you know what, let's create an analogy for that. So the AI is going to think about it for a little bit, and then it'll come back. Soon. And so it's using an analogy, comparing it with a symphony orchestra for preparing for a grand concert. I didn't really pay attention to what the content was that we gave it. Air ambulance others require, oh yeah, professionalism stuff. So it creates a nice analogy for us there. We can also, these are using the existing content, but we could also just insert a new. We have scenario, step-by-steps, and analogies in here as well. So I'm going to do, let's say, a scenario. And since I didn't already have any content selected when I insert this new scenario here, I can write a few things in here. So let's see. I told you I wasn't going to make you watch me type. It is Bob's first day at work, and he needs to prep the helo. Let's see what it does with that. Yes, I will show the games. We have the games. Oh, here we go. She sent a link. I forgot to show how to insert games in here too. I'll do that after this loads. Boom. So created this whole scenario for me here. I won't bore you by reading the whole thing, but we can see it took our prompt, which was it's Bob's first day of work. He's filled with a mix of excitement and nerves as he walks across the tarmac to the gleaming helicopter. So I threw a little bit of drama in there for us as well. And so since somebody asked, and I realized that I forgot to show, we do have, so you can insert games. It's connected to my training arcade account. I only have 2 games in there right now. And so it shows you the games that you already have created in the training arcade. And I can select one and it'll drop it right inside me here. I don't have the full list of games available to me right now, but I see that Stephanie posted in the chat a link to all the games there. They have games and they have arcades as well. Let's see. What else did I miss on this tile block thing? Games. Ooh, Avatar. Talk about that one just a moment too. Questions, scenario, VR, yeah, arcades. Okay, I think I got everything except for Avatar, which we haven't got to yet. Video. I think you understand. Click that, upload your video. There it is inside here. All right. Let me see where I am on my list of things that I said I was going to show you. Let's do a step-by-step in here as well. challenges and safety considerations. So if I need a step-by-step guide. Guide to, I don't know anything about the ambulance safety. Well, let's just stress test it here. Guide to landing the helo safely. See, that's a very vague prompt. So we'll see how it does on that. It is checking the rest of the, so even though that's your prompt there, it considers all the content that's on the page right now. And so it should come back. Boom, there we go. So now we have our step-by-step guide to landing a helicopter safely. It's so cool because I always wanted to learn to fly a helicopter, and I feel like now I got this. I got this. I particularly want to learn so that at the when the zombie apocalypse comes, I feel like a helicopter is going to be the best form of transportation, except for fuel. I don't think they're very good with fuel. All right, so if I haven't dazzled you yet with the AI, let me jump over and show another way that we can create content with our AI. So in this case, I'm going to add source to this. I have 3 PowerPoints. I need to change this so I can select all 3 at the same time too. So I'm going to upload these 3 PowerPoints, and I'll show you what these PowerPoints look like in just a second. And then I'm just going to put in a prompt. This one I'm getting a little bit more detailed on. A general description of the helo. Notice I'm not saying which helicopter, and the difference between the models. And again, I'm not saying which models, right? And this module is for the advanced pilots. So I'll hit create content, agree, and you know what's happening here. So while that's happening there, I'm going to jump over and just show you one of the PowerPoints that's in there. So these are some technical heavy PowerPoints with diagrams and really ugly formatted text in there. It's laid out in a really bad way. And so there's a lot going on in these PowerPoints. And I need to find somewhere I have the PowerPoint that lists the other models too. So I need to find that so I can show you what that looks like. Oh, I got all these windows popped up over my. All right, so let's see. Oh, I think it's in the optional equipment. So in here, they start mentioning the different models of helicopter because some of them have different equipment on them. So let me jump back over here. Which one of these is this one? Here we go. Boom. So it knew that I was talking about the EC-135 helicopter. It created a module for me based on the helicopter. It's citing things from the document that we uploaded as well. That was a PowerPoint. I could have uploaded a Word doc, a PDF, various formats of content that you can upload in there. And then here, because I said, you know, talk about the difference between models, it's telling me here the EC-135 has this engine, the 135P3 has this other engine. So it's starting to explain to me what the differences are between these models in there, just like I asked it to. Now, the cool thing too is if I create any new content, it will go back to that document to find that new content in there. So I'm going to insert, let's say, a new paragraph and say, explain the optional equipment. Now, you notice that's not really a prompt, and that's not really a prompt box. All I did was type in like one sentence there and asked it to explain. But there's kind of a hack here, because if I say that I wanted to elaborate on that, well, it's got no choice. It's got to elaborate on that sentence. It's going to have to go back into our source document and find what the optional equipment is for the EC-135 helicopter. I guess it's an ambulance helicopter. Boom, here we go. So it took a look inside the document and it found all this optional equipment that was in those 3 different PowerPoints. And it's showing me that, or it's explaining to our learner, here's all the optional equipment they can install on the helicopter. Unfortunately, I can't hear you, but I'm sure everybody right now is like, yay, that's so cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me see where we are on my list of things to cover here. Oh, question set that's in here. So we haven't talked about that one yet. When I hit question set, and I'll hit it and talk about it while we're waiting. You see, it's a lot like when I said to insert one question, but now what it's going to do is it's going to look at all this content that we have on the screen. It will not go back into the document to create the question set. And we did that on purpose because maybe your document covers like 5 different helicopters, but this training's only about 1 helicopter. We wouldn't want to create questions for you that were based on one of the other helicopters. So when you create a question set using the AI here, it only looks at the content that you currently have in your module, not the content that's in your source documents. All right, so it came up with our questions. If I select one, I can see, oh yeah, there's the correct answer in there. If you don't specify a source doc, where does AI get its information? The AI has been trained on gazillions of documents and code from all over the interwebs and books and everything. So it gets its content from the knowledge base of the world. So those are questions. Now, the one tile on here, I think I haven't really talked about it. Well, okay, so I can mention the embed. The embed is there if you want to upload. Let's say that you've made a really cool, let's say you've made a really cool interaction in Lectora Online, and you want to insert that inside here. You would export it from Lectora as an HTML file, a zip, HTML zip. Click this button here, click browse, and just upload it right in here. I don't know why I didn't think to have something handy to show you right now. So you can insert any published HTML, HTML5 content. So like a Lectora module or a whole module if you want, but chances are you're just going to create a small interaction and put it in there. You could do, I don't know if anybody else has seen it. H5P has some cool HTML5 interactions. It's an open source project. You can create them there and publish them and import them here. So that's a way to get your own custom interactivity inside here too, is with this embed block. I'm going to delete that one since it's empty. And then the last block on here to talk about is our AI generated avatar. And with this, in just a few clicks, I can find my script. Where did I put my script? Ah, here. With just a few clicks, we're going to be able to create a talking head avatar video here. So right off the bat, I've got a bunch of different characters that I can choose from for my avatar. So let's see, I'm going to just choose, let's get this. This lady kind of reminds me of my grandma. So I'm going to select her. And then what do I want my grandmother to say? Well, I'm going to go with, turns out my grandmother was an expert at air traffic control. And so she's going to help our learners understand air traffic control a little better. So then the next step, once I have that in there, is the next step is I want to generate that audio first. Because
air traffic control, ATC, grants special treatment to air.
I don't know if you can hear that on your end or not.
Much like a.
I don't know if you can hear that on your end or not, but we want to make sure that that sounds right, that, she's pronouncing medevac correctly and everything before we go through the trouble of creating the video. So that gives us a chance to, now I could come in and I can say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna have to spell this phonetically to make sure it comes in. Most of the time gets it right, sometimes needs a couple of tweaks. We give you that chance there to do that. So I'll hit next on that. So I have this lady, and then I have, oh, I need a background to put behind her. So she's talking about helicopters. So let's see. I think I'll put her maybe here at the beach in there. And so now it kind of shows me the whole thing all together. Hey, here's your script, here's your character, here's your location, and I can say generate video. And it's going to think about it for a moment. I think my stepson's using all my internet on his PlayStation. All right, so now this does take 5-10 minutes in order to process that. Unfortunately, our time comes to an end in 12 minutes. So to save you, 10 minutes of just waiting here, I have one already created that I can show you. Oh, here we go. I cleverly put the word avatar in it, so I'd be able to find it in there. And so, oh, by the way, somebody let me know, can you hear my video when I'm playing it?
Yes, we can.
Oh, excellent, 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 because this is about to be cool. So this is one I did before, same script.
Air traffic control. ATC, grants special treatment to air ambulance operations,
All
much like a ground ambulance
Now,
using lights and a.
I'm gonna pause on that for a second, because look at you over here. This course was translated to Arabic, Chinese, French, and Hindu. So if I wanted to, I could come up here and I could say, well, you know what? I want to see this whole thing in Arabic. Oh, look, there's my closed captions in Arabic as well. Let's see what happens. And she's speaking Arabic. Now, once again, I cannot hear what you're saying right now, but I can only assume that everybody is applauding and high-fiving on your end there. So one fun thing I like to do with these is, yeah, sure, I have her speaking Arabic, but let's do the subtitles in French, let's say. So now she is speaking Arabic. So now that I hear it, it actually sounds sort of like French too. She's speaking Arabic, but the subtitles are in French. It's kind of fun to play with that. So I see that there is a question. You know what? I don't know if that's right to left right now or not. Do we have any Arabic? If anybody can read Arabic on my phone? Oh. Yeah, that's a great question. I will look into that, and someone will contact you and let you know if it does. Your own background and character to the avatar. So we are working on two things there. One is a way we have, all those assets in the asset library, and so we want you to be able to use those for your backgrounds and other effects inside the video and stuff. And then as far as creating your own, oh yes, your own background. Okay, I thought there was a question there about creating your own avatar, and we actually do offer that service as well. It does involve a trip to a recording studio where they put you in front of a green screen and you spend a couple hours like repeating the alphabet or something. They film you from a couple of angles and everything. It's pretty cool that you can do that. Yes, that's the question there. Yeah, and so once we've got the video of your actor or you saying the sentences and I'm losing my train of thought here, and the alphabet and everything, then we can convert that video into your own very own custom avatar. We have folks that do it, like maybe the CEO of their company, or they have a spokesperson that's like represents their safety department or something like that. And so yeah, yep, we do have that service that we offer, and then it will show up. So in there, when I selected I'm not in edit mode right now. And then when I selected one of those avatars, you would see your custom avatar in there as well. Yes. Yes, I agree about the healthcare. All right, so let me jump back to my PowerPoint because there's a couple of things. I see I only have 8 minutes left, and there's a couple things I have to talk about, or else I'm going to get in trouble. Stephanie and Christian are going to give me a hard time if I don't tell you. Oh, wait. Now, how do I go back? If I don't tell you all about me, as I said, I am James Kingsley. All my friends call me Kingsley. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can scan that little thing there, and I'll take you right to my LinkedIn profile. Best way to contact me through LinkedIn and to check up on what I'm doing and any new articles or anything like that. And then the Summer of Learning. We mentioned it before, but I believe they had a few more comments that they wanted to tell you about the Summer of Learning.
Yeah, we've got so many comments. Kristen, do you want to jump in or do you want me to share about this?
Because there's this other thing too.
So much
Yeah.
going
Yeah, we have a ton going on. So when it comes to the Summer of Learning, as long as you schedule an appointment and attend your appointment, that's the big part. You have to attend your appointment before September 2nd. You will be registered to win an all expenses paid trip to DevLearn 2024. So that means your hotel, a food stipend, your plane ticket, and your full conference pass will be taken care of 100% by none other than ELB Learning. So you won't have to plead with your boss for the budget to spend. You might just have to plead a little bit for some time away from the office. Now, it is not the airplane ticket, yes, is only within the US. We have to have it be within the contiguous United States because otherwise, those plane tickets are really expensive and I can only go so far with this. Okay, let's go to the second slide. I know, Kristen, I'm sorry, but hopefully you got your t-shirt the last time I was in London.
Well, you could, Christine, you could buy a flight from Europe to the US and then they'll pay your
There
flight.
you go. You know what? That's a great workaround. Just make sure that you can get to a major hub like New York or Chicago or something, and we can most likely take care of the rest of the legs. Not a problem. You know what? There's always some type of a workaround. And I'm glad you're enjoying your t-shirt, Kristen. So let's take a look at the first section of the slide. Dun, 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 dun. We do have pre-DevLearn learning workshops, also known as ELBX Live. For the last couple of years, thanks COVID, it's been online. We're going to be live and local Las Vegas. Okay, I'm not even going there. But we're going to be live in Las Vegas. Our programming is going to start at noon on that day. Right now it says 4:30. We think we're going to possibly extend it out to 6 p.m. PST on that day. Fingers are crossed, depending on the programming. Everybody has been yelling at us saying, hey, we want to be in person with you. We want more in-depth instruction on Lectora. We want to understand how to do this, and this with rehearsal. Well, we heard you. So we're going to be out there. If you're planning on being out there for DevLearn, check your plane tickets if you've already purchased them. Make sure that you land at Las Vegas before noon and just come on in. The coolest part about it is that it's free. It's 100% included with your entry fee for DevLearn. So we're not going to charge you anything extra. You just get to come on out and have some fun with us. So we hope to see you on that day early. We do have some great programming going on. And then we move directly into the expo, the regular kind of expo space, but actually we don't even move spaces. I shouldn't have said that. Kingsley, I'm now starting to sound like you. I think I need more coffee.
on.
So what's going on is we have 9,000 square feet. It is going to be the ELB learning experience. We have our own stage. Of course we do, because we always have our own stage. But this time it's bigger and better and more bodacious. And all of our programming is going to be absolutely stellar as usual. You know, you come to see us to be able to see whether it's the case studies that we have with the fantastic clients that we have. I think we already have Intel on the line. They reached out to us and said, hey, can we present? Of course, why not? Who wouldn't want to hear them? And then Wednesday night, we have a VIP party. 80s style, people. If you haven't noticed, we've got a little bit of a theme going. So it's going to be 80s style. 80s dress is highly, highly encouraged, but it is a VIP event alongside with our partners from Colossian. So reach out to your local ELB learning rep, and you can talk to them about how you can possibly get on our VIP list, because once the doors are closed, and if you're not on the list, the doors are closed. I think that's about it. Did I miss anything, Steph?
I believe that that is everything. Yeah, I put a link in the chat to the landing page where you can schedule a demo, and that's how you can get yourself in the contest for the giveaway for the all expenses paid trips. You can do that. And I'm also going to post a link to our webpage for MicroBuilder, because you can sign up for a free trial there. And then you can test out all of the AI features that Kingsley just showed us and see how it works for your company. And with that, thank you so much, Kingsley, for joining us today and sharing all of this. Thank you to our attendees. We love having you on these webinars. We love hearing your questions, seeing your suggestions. It has been fantastic. As I said at the beginning, this was recorded, so of course you'll be receiving a link to that in your email. And have a great rest of your day. Hopefully we'll see you all on our next webinar.
Thank you.